Thank you so much for staying tuned. Yes, the G7 summit has come and gone, but the memory still lingers on. And so many issues were raised that even brought out some negative part of some presidents. Mind you, if you really want to go back and take a look at this program, all you need to do, log on to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ITV Radio Nigeria. Get to see what we did in all our programs. Talking about the current affairs program, the news, reportage, all of it, you get to see them on our YouTube channel. Or better still, log on to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/ITV Radio NG. Even our own live program on the internet. Yes, log on to www.itvradioNigeria.com/live. You get to see what we're doing right here, right now. Twitter handle at ITV Radio NG. And of course, my Twitter handle is at Marshall Wilson. You know, let's get tweeting, let's get interacting, and things will get better. What do you think? Anyway, with me here in the studio to do justice to this discourse, I have a lecturer, a clergyman, and of course, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Frank Amega. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so very much.
I appreciate your comment.
It's a pleasure being with you.
Yeah, now, it used to be G8. Then it became G7. Because a country was pushed out, or they stepped out, according to them. That is the country, Russia. Let us start off from there, because Trump made a suggestion that, look, for this summit to take, we have to invite Putin, because we have lingering issues about the Iranian issue, we have the Syrian issue, we have so many other issues bedeviling the world, that if we are talking about G8 right now, everything will be easier for all of us. But it was kicked against by majority of the world leaders. How do you feel about that?
Yes, just within this 24th, 26th, when the G8 summit held in France, Donald Trump has indicated interest for Russia to come back. It was G8, as you really actually mentioned. I hope from 7 to 6, 5, until it becomes G4. You know G4, Gary? So now Russia, according to Trump, should come back. But they had a challenge in 2014. I think there's no challenge that cannot be resolved. If Russia comes back, the input of Putin will go a long way to resolving this global crisis that is brewing up. So G8 should be reformed.
Now, but the Gabriel say that because Russia annexed Crimea, that is a slap on global international relationship. Is that enough to keep Russia at bay for this long?
So if they were stepped aside in 2014, I think they should also reconsider their coming back. Trump said it rightly that, can I quote him now, that Russia should come back to the tent. He used the word tent. That it's better to be within the tent than to be outside the tent. So the input of Russia will help resolve most of these challenges, despite the crisis they created in 2014. You can't throw the dirty water and the baby throw them off. We know the offense they committed, nobody was happy about it. But now you sanction them and reconsider they are coming back.
But from analysis, did they really commit an offense? After all, Crimea cried out to Mother Russia that they want to be part of Russia. And Russia came in to rescue them. According to Putin, they did nothing wrong.
Yes, according to Putin. If he said so, but the world leaders didn't see it that way. You would have created an offense, and you yourself will not know that what you have just done or said is going to hamper the smooth running of activities. But now it was called to order. That act was against global peace. So they had to sanction. Of course, Russia didn't complain much. But for Donald Trump to now say they should come back, I'm sure there will have been 1 or 2 meetings informally, somewhere, somehow, that the Russian nation should come back to the G7 to make it G8.
Does it mean that Trump have soft spot for Putin? Because people like have been suspecting that these two, they have a kind of relationship that people just can't really lay hands on. That statement by Donald Trump is not really bringing it to the fore, the relationship between him and Putin. Is it personal, or is going to benefit the G7 if they not turn G8?
Truly, personally, I suspect Trump. He seems to be alone all this while. So he needs someone to support him. Like last year's G7 summit in Quebec, Canada, there was an agreement, a communique he ought to have signed when it came to the issue of global change and all that.
Climate change and global warming, yeah.
So he didn't sign. He left. So, and that's, if you allow me, unpresidential. Should have signed. Other world leaders signed. So why would he not sign? He walked out. And that was why the Prime Minister of France said, this just concluded G7 summit in France, that because of what happened last year in Quebec, this year's G7 summit, they will not communicate. Because they don't want what happened last year to happen again. Premised on the fact that Trump may not want to sign again. They say once bitten, twice shy. He refused signing. And now it's better to say no more communicate this year. Then let's hold the meeting and go back. So from our perspective, Trump seems to be alone in this battle. So that is why he's wanting Russia to come back. I'm sure they would have discussed.
Because right now, from the analysis of Pondi, you're saying that Angela talking about the Chancellor of Germany, and of course, those Shinzo Abe was quiet. He didn't say much about it. He was neutral. And take a look at Emmanuel Macron also. They labeled Putin as undemocratic.
That was then.
Because even right now, he's talking about him being undemocratic. I mean, because from analysis, he was democratically elected as a president in Russia. So why would they say he's undemocratic?
It was undemocratic before the G7. But as far as the Russian president was concerned, back home in Russia, they didn't see anything wrong with it. But at the global scene, that act was not in tandem with the vision of the G8 initially. So, the Russian president is not bothered. But Trump is more bothered than Putin. Reason, he is alone in it. Personally, I wasn't happy why I didn't sign that communique. That has been since 1975. They've been signing. So I would just walk out earlier than scheduled. He just left the hall that he wouldn't sign. So that also was undemocratic. So if Macron is saying, the German Chancellor is saying that, they are right. What is right for you in your own country may not be right elsewhere. May not be right. So if Russians accepted what Putin said or did, it's okay for them in Russia. But now what he said was not being tested at the global scene. And the report came back that that was wrong.
So for now, as it stands, Russia is out of the group, so to speak.
Russia is coming back.
When do you think they're going to come back? Because right now, from what you rightly said, Trump seems to be alone in there, except for one other president that supported Trump, that Russia should come back. Others are saying, no, he shouldn't come back. From where it stands, from how the meeting ended, you see Russia coming into the summit right now to make it G8 next year.
Yes, it is likely because the next summit is holding in US. So at that point, as a host, the president of America will have a say. And he may also woo to himself some other president that will bring in Russia to make it the initial G8.
And how do you think Americans will feel about this? Because next year is around the corner. You see, what in quote right now, the enemy of America, so to speak, coming into America because of a president called Trump. Would it go down too well with Americans?
There is no way in a country where all the citizens will support a particular government. But a simple majority of Americans will support the move being made by the President of America. all of them may not even support. But if a simple majority says so, that's okay. America will need to protect their territorial integrity. So other issues arose from 24th to 26th, this G7. So a lot of things were done between America and Iran.
Yes, because we are coming to that right now, because that is another key issue.
Yes.
The Russian issue was on one hand, and now the Iranian issue is on the other hand. Even Brexit also will take a look at if we can really touch on some of these issues. Now let's take a look at the Iranian issue. There is trouble right now. Iran is, like, you know, talking tough. It started by Donald Trump saying that Iranians are not playing according to the rule, and people are saying that he's not saying the truth. Even other countries, they didn't see it from Trump's perspective until a proof was provided. The Iranians, they were enriching the nuclear capability. So how do you think they're going to resolve this?
That matter will be further resolved. Later in the month of September, next month, towards the ending, the UN General Assembly will be holding in New York next month. And that will afford both of them, the Iranian president and that of the US, a better opportunity to discuss. But one thing I'm not so comfortable with, that Trump said, that the Iranians must not, let me quote him, must never go ahead with their nuclear weapons. I'm not comfortable with that. They have the right. What they don't have the right to do is to eliminate people, to cause destruction. You can't just stand up and say they don't have the right. You are a president of your nation. Iran is a nation on its own, so you can't just rise up to make a sweeping statement that they don't have the right. He said they must never go ahead with their nuclear weapons.
But I don't think there's a reason for him saying that, because of the extremists in Iran. Don't forget that also once upon a time a president of Iran, or a prime minister in Iran, threatened the existence of Israel, and Israel is an ally to the US.
I understand. If you don't want your opponent to acquire certain weapons, you don't just come out openly that you must never. Iranians are not comfortable with the world system, so they want to fight. So what I think they should do is to sit down and resolve it. Not just point at them. Iran is not the only country that is operating that. Pakistan is doing that. So why didn't you go ahead to say, Pakistan, don't go ahead again? Russia is doing it.
Well, don't think it's a matter of trust because of the radical nature of Iranians.
What I see Trump is doing is to override all the presidents.
In what terms?
For him to single-handedly make a declaration. Already is fighting China, trade dispute. You should not be seen personally doing that. There is a group, either the G7 or the G8. You table the matter, you bring out superior arguments.
But that was what he did.
He was not supposed to give a resolution that, okay, as the chairman of this summit, Iran must never.
And he gave reasons for that.
Personally, if he had reasons to have given, the same way Iran has reasons. So it's not left for all of them to put the reasons on the table and look at which of them will be human friendly, environment friendly, and all that. That's when the points will be made. So with the points straight now, Iran, you can see, notice to have nuclear weapons. So it shouldn't be a fight between Iran and US. It should be Iran and the world.
But see now, from what Trump said, and I've been talking about in America, that if you give Iran the a right to own a nuclear weapon, the Middle East in particular, and of course the world in general, will be in trouble.
I know that. That was even biblical. But the point I'm making is, Iran has the right.
Then what about global peace? Like Iran do have the right to own a nuclear weapon.
I'll tell you, Wilson, don't wear this pair of shoes again. You must never. I don't have the right to tell you that. You have the right to wear the shoes you want to wear.
But what if not?
If I give you reasons
to impede?
Yes, if I give you reasons that these shoes you're wearing will create an epidemic, If you wear it, you have injuries in your legs. People around you will be infected. I will give you reasons. But reasons or sufficient reasons have not been given to Iran. But Iranians are seeing it as Americans stopping them instead of the G7 or G8 stopping them. So that's the point I'm making. It's like taking the laws into your hands personally.
Don't forget that at the beginning of this, some of these countries that were there in the accord signed and agreed to by Iranians, they were there when they were violating this nuclear treaty until Trump brought out a heavy proof against them. In fact, they were saying that Iran was in tune, that they were following the rules and regulations laid down for you to have some sort of nuclear bite, so to speak, until Iran went overboard. These nations, they were there, they did nothing about it. So how is Trump wrong?
He isn't wrong. There are procedures for things like this. You had a whole lot of evidences to buttress your point. Why don't you submit those points to other nations? Okay, I have spoken about this issue. We'll see what you will do now. You speak on that while I speak on this. Not that all the things I don't want, I'm the one saying it. People should buy into those ideas or concepts. Let them also say it. First, let them see the reason or reasons why Iran should not go ahead. It's not all the ideas will come from America, and America is the one speaking. There are other people in the group. That's the point I'm making. Iran, right or wrong, that's not the issue. But America is taking it as if it's a personal thing. They are feeling threatened.
But don't they have the right to protect their own interests?
Yes.
It seems to be their interest in this matter.
Selfish interest.
How selfish is it?
I will tell you more about the selfish interest when it comes between US and China. It's selfish. So you allow other groups, other nations that made up the G7 or G8 to also speak. If they bought into the idea, Trump will be speaking. They won't. Like you're the owner of an organization. You're not on air interviewing. That doesn't make sense. You are assigned to people. Wesley, you do this. Duke, you do this. They will stay off it. You are taking it too personal. That's the aspect I'm not comfortable with.
All right, he's taking it too personal.
Now,
from what Trump said, he said there may be a meeting. There's a possibility of being a meeting between him and Rouhani, talking about the leader of the Iranian. Now, if this should happen,
that's in September.
That is September.
In New York.
If this should happen, how do you think they resolve this issue? Because lots and lots of sanctions are being imposed right now on Iran, and they're not finding it funny.
Okay.
They are beginning to fight back one way or the other by blocking the Gulf, trying to seize a vessel or two and all that. What do you think should be the neutral point so that both parties can have what they want, if not all, at least to some percentage?
Sanctions will make any difference. The intentions of Iranians, sanctions won't stop them. You come to a round table, they are going to meet next month. Let Trump humble himself, reduce all forms of arrogance, and talk with the person. No matter how difficult a person is, there's way you will humble yourself. Talk with points, not that you must not or you must. Nobody takes that any longer. That's why you see protests everywhere. Say nobody should go through this road. Nobody wants to hear that again. Poor reasons. Just like I used to see in Benin City, for instance. They say, please don't urinate here. That word alone don't will make people pass urine there. Or you don't give a condition. If you urinate, you will die. So people will not be scared.
Right.
So you give reasons, just a friendly approach. That if you needed things arising from nuclear weapons and all that, we'll give you. You don't manufacture. If there is an industry that will hamper the transmission of activities from this station, for instance, is located nearby, the authority of this ITV will not be comfortable. What do you intend to achieve? I want to attend to customers. Okay, you bought this parcel of land. How much did you buy it? Times 10, take, we'll relocate you. Or you call on the Environmental Protection Agency to come into the matter. So if Trump goes to the level of the Iranian president, convince him. There must be convincing points. And he's a human being. No matter how wicked the president of Iran is, it will come to a point that, oh, with the points you made now, will halt the transmission or the activities at the plant, of the nuclear plant. We'll halt it.
All right. They're going to meet September, which is next month. Let's see how that meeting will go. These are just some of the key issues raised in the G7 summit. It used to be G8. All of a sudden, Russia was expunged because of annexation of Crimea. And right now, there are issues in the table or on the table. Now, before we talk about the trade war between China and, of course, the US, where others have been dragged into this, like in this summit, is Trump versus almost everyone. Yeah. Why is it so?
Same issue. What about how logical your points are? You must be able to crystallize them for people to see. US at the moment is in quotes in charge of the world system, economy and all that. But it wasn't God that created it like that. So allow other nations to spring up. As they will say, live and let live. Nigeria, was it last year or thereabouts, they went on agreements with China. Let's ignore dollars. Let's have a common way of trading. Humanly, you cannot tell me the denomination of naira I should spend. If I want to be spending 20 naira denomination to buy a thing of 1 million naira, I can. Now you're saying I must use 1,000 naira bill. I said no. Why must I buy from China? Chinese people don't use dollars. They use yen. I use naira. So let's do the trade by barter. Americans will say, no, you must trade in dollars. So the thing is overbearing. It's overbearing. And people they have realized over the years that life must not continue that way. China is a place, whether America likes it or not, it's going to take over. It's an obvious truth. What Trump is battling with now is a simple graph. Reality versus expectation. There are expectations by the American government. Yep. And that's on the x-axis. Sorry to bother with mathematics. That's on the x-axis. Reality is on the y-axis. So what American government doesn't want to understand now is the extrapolation. Now a line is drawn, a graph is drawn. They are seeing the straight line graph. They now say, no, it must not be straight.
Is it American government or the person Trump?
It's standing for the government or the people of America.
Yeah.
As a common saying, if somebody killed a dog along the street, they now say that's the street where they kill dogs. So he's speaking on behalf of the American government or people. So if it's not like that, he's not speaking on their behalf, they should rise up to say, we didn't send him to this extent. They should call him to order. So China has all it takes to lead this world right now. But Americans or American government will not want that to be. But it will be.
All right, now from analysis and of course from observations and facts on the ground, China has been accused of cheating. It's about the intellectual property. And also, America, according to Trump, has been cheated, of course, for so long by many countries. I mean, don't think they have a right to, stand on their ground saying these ought to be done this way because they feel cheated in so many aspects. And Donald Trump brought out facts, brought out figures, the reason why he chose to go on with this trade war.
America is not the regulatory body of the world system.
But right now, it seems like they are.
They were.
Oh, they were.
That's the fight right now.
Could you please throw more light on that? They were.
They were,
yeah.
Yeah. Once a rich man is not forever a rich man. They were before. There was a kind of respect they were getting before. And they can't get any more. So that's why the fight is against China. So why is there no light that the switch has been moved from here to the other compound? So it's the other compound now that controls the lighting system. And you may see light everywhere. But the control switch has been relocated. So the control switch about trade, investment, everything has moved to China. So you want to create or build up a thing, you go to China, cheap labor. All the resources are there. So it's the change of control switch from America to China, that's the problem now.
Has it changed or they're dragging the switch right now?
It's with China already.
People are saying that
the switch is in China already. There's nothing you're looking for now that can be manufactured in China. Americans are just making noise. So they don't want to lose out. Of course they will. I'm not Chinese, but that's the reality. They expect that China should kind of be a subordinate to them. But China said, no, we are now grown up. We can speak like adults. And we can take care of ourselves. America will say, no, you shouldn't take care of yourself. I should take care of you. Well, okay, how will you take care of me? I'll provide this, I can provide. I will give you this, I can give myself. So that's the war now. So let everybody go into the form of trade he wants to do, investment, invention. So allow everybody.
All right, now, if this war continues unabated, who do you think will be worst hit? Because the war is still raging on. You get to say tariff sanction here, taxation on these goods, Chinese goods, American goods, and they took a break at first, but now they are back again at it. Who do you think will be worst hit? Despite the summit, it has come and gone, but it's like the battle rages on.
The American president will not soft pedal. It will not. He wants to ensure everything is said, even with evidence or no evidence, to be what's going to subsist. So the war will linger on. But the worst it will be developing or underdeveloped nations. There is no sanction they will place on China that China, in quote, will go bankrupt. Because they are fully developed. So sanctions here and there come from America. Why should sanctions always be coming from America? Why should it be? So let the G7 or G8 sanction a nation. I would be more interested in that. That becomes kind of global. Not that from one angle that these persons will not do this, will not buy, will not sell, all from you. Would you accept that?
Wow. After I said that who pays the piper dictates the tune. So
you become a piper yourself. You learn to play it.
Wow.
You learn to play it. Play your own tunes. Play your own tunes. I'm not going to pay any piper. I'm not going to invite any piper. I'm going to buy my pipe and play it myself. That's what China is saying. I have invented pipes. I can play it. Whether it's off key or not off key, but I can play it. When I play it, my people will dance to it. You will say that's not a dance step. It doesn't matter. I'm okay. I'm okay.
All right. Now, as it stands around, there seems to be like in a state of a stalemate. Yes. Everyone is wondering where should we go to? And China took yet another swap, talking about currency swap.
Okay.
Is that meant to break American hold in the global market?
Obviously so. American government is not happy about that. That currency swap. Now, Nigerian government, I was surprised. I didn't see my president on TV along the line of the G7. The Japanese prime minister was in France. Our own dear president was in Japan. So I wonder why he didn't go. I don't know. I'm going to interview you on that now. I wonder why he didn't go. Because I was in Japan. I also saw it on screen. Why the other presidents, some were invited? They are among the Gs. Yeah. They were invited. Even from Rwanda was invited.
Maybe Nigeria is not among the Gs. Anyway, that's it.
A Nigerian was there.
For another day.
A former minister of Agric was there.
But not representing Nigeria.
Unless I couldn't see my president.
Anyway,
France.
No, that is a talk for the other because right now our time is up. Yeah. All right. Now, issues have been raised in the G summit.
Yes.
Some solutions were proffered.
Yes.
Do you see it going a long way to really bring about stability globally?
It will. What Macron said, he appealed specially to the American president that this tension between US and China, please. The Amazon fire, please. I also discovered that Brazilians are rejecting the $20-something billion
help.
Yes, they don't want it. They don't want to get the help from you and become a slave to them. So what the French prime minister did, if the American president can just soft pedal, he has begged him severally. That one has told the line of peace all through. But the American president is not budging. I don't know why. I wish you can invite him here. Let's discuss.
Not sure what we will get there. They will give him a call.
Yeah, why not?
Trump was really going on. Thank you so much for coming on today's show.
Yeah,
I appreciate your wonderful analysis. It was also going to the UK and the Brexit palaver because it was discussed also in the G7 summit, yes. But there is no time. We have to make time for all that things. Well, that's it on today's show. Thank you so much for being a part of it. See you next week, Tuesday, God willing. Bye for now.